Hello everyone, I'm back with another video. Well, another rail fanning video. Anyway, this is going to be my journey to Rosenberg on October 19th, I think? I forgot the day. But anyways, here's a manifest with an SD70 ACE Tier 4 rating. So, enjoy. That was the end of that train. Here we have our second train, which is a BNSF grain train, well, an empty one at that. And these hoppers on the train are fresh. Like they've only been probably used for like a couple days, so yeah, you can just see for yourself. Also, I think it had -9 rating. Yeah, no, it did. Roll clip. Well, that was the end of that train. So up next we have a Union Pacific rock train. This one actually came on the Tower 26 cam. I saw it a couple hours before we went. And by the way, we went at like 7 in the morning. So. And this rock train had an AC 6000 trailing second. So that was pretty cool. So here we have the next train, which is the Sunset Limited again. So this train actually caught us by surprise, like the first time we saw it. This had 137 leading again, with 48 trailing. This one I did not pick up on my scanner because it was not on, but it took forever to arrive. I'm not even joking. It took like, what, 40 to 50 minutes to arrive? And then he actually started back up again after that. Here we have the train of the day that was like the best one I have ever seen here. Like one of the best I've ever seen here. This was a CPKC grain train with majority Southern Bells leading. And only one CP unit, which is pretty cool. And on the and the last two trailing were SD70 Max. I thought those were SD60Ms at first. I'm very sorry about that. But I later found out those are SD70 Max. And you won't believe what the engineer did for me. That is right, he gave me a shave and a haircut. That was very cool. Oh, here's the SD7 Max. I later found out that these were at Tower 26. I could not believe that he gave me a shave and a haircut. And, while I was listening to the scanner, there was like an argument going on, which was pretty funny, not gonna lie. Because one of them said, no wonder he doesn't make money, or something like that. But it was pretty funny. So. You probably hear that bell in the background. Well, something weird happened that I did not notice until after this train passed. 'Cause a meet happened somewhere down the line. That's right, a meet. I did not catch this on camera, Mainly because my tripod was like right here, where it is right now. This is the train I mentioned in the video with the Norfolk Southern gas 9. And this one was led by an AC 4400 CWM, which was smoking right around, yep, there it goes. And trailing as the rear DPU was a KCS Jigo. So that was pretty cool. Here we have some unique containers. Faster Rate, which is apparently a Canadian shipping company, which I could tell from the container logos. But I've never seen these before. So this was kind of rare for me. Just wanted to point this out because I've never seen any Faster Rate containers. CPKC Drainer was 4875, which is coincidence. Up next is a little something I've seen before, but I've only seen it once. And that is this certain BNSF train that always, comes with a certain special flatbed load. Me and my dad have no idea what this is, to be honest with you. If someone can figure it out, please tell me in the comments. I have no idea what these things are on the flatbeds. On the back end of the train was some Florida East Coast flatbeds. I've never seen any Florida East Coast piece of like locomotive or rolling stock in my life. So this was like a first time thing. Oh, here we have a train that literally stopped on us, and this wasn't the second time. Because a manifest, which was sitting on the Galveston sub on the other side, like directly on the other side, was just sitting there. Probably waiting for this one, we assumed. But nope. Of course, this one had to come. And that's right, you can literally see it stopping right there. We were like, huh? Why did it stop? Turns out it was waiting for another train. Well, not really. They had to wait for clearance to get across the, to the Galveston sub. So, yeah. Then it started moving again a bit after it got a green light, so. Someone apparently graffitied the name Alice, and then in the heart it said happy birthday. Someone gave this person named Alice a happy birthday on a freaking rail car. So that was pretty interesting. we have the next train, which is already blowing its horn. My dad apparently started recording as soon as it blew the horn. But, here is, a Union Pacific Autorag train. Spoiler warning, the very last Autorag had its door open. So... SD70AH Tier 4 trailing second, which was pretty cool. I've seen 2 of those today, which I've never seen 2 in a row before. saw the door literally open, one of them, which was pretty weird. I have no idea why they would do that. Probably left it open by accident. So here we have the manifest that was on the other side of that BNSF grain train. I had two BN hoppers like in the middle of it towards the front, which was pretty cool. I barely see BN hoppers. Well, I've only seen them once. This was the second time seeing two. But so the reason why we were driving down here is because we were going to get McDonald's and head home. But we had a little thing happen on the way. So this train actually moved and another train was in its place, which had a -9 leading. And here's us chasing the train. We were heading back, and I noticed that the tanker was moving. And I was like, oh, that's the same train. So we ended up chasing it. And then, yeah, not much really happened. The leaders were just two Jeevas, which we already saw. Kind of boring, isn't it? I hope you all enjoyed this video. Here's a little photo I took before the manifest came there. My dad told me to go take a photo of this GP60, but I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.